What's up, everybody? This is From the Depths Collectables coming at you with another custom corner video. In this custom corner video, we're going to take a look at Conquest. Conquest is a part of the Invincible series, and he's somebody that I had in the back pocket for a little while. And it seems like with the return of the season 2 of Invincible on Amazon, it is a great time to do this. So what we're going to be working with today is we are going to use the body of this Dark Knight Returns Superman, this little diaper part from the New 52 Martian Manhunter. It was not a perfect one-to-one because it doesn't have like the little back little flat part like it does like in the comics, but I like this. I like how this design is, and I feel like this would be a perfect thing to fit this Conquest. It looks just right up his alley. So I'm going to use this, and we are just going to stick to one figure. So the only thing that we're going to be doing that is extra is this hand that I 3D printed. I tested it on this arm and I like how it fits. So we're just going to go ahead and use this arm. There's no sense in 3D printing another one and doing the same thing to this. But that is all we're going to do. We do have the 3D printed head right here, scaled up and ready to go. And that is it for the breakdown of what we are going to be using. We are just going to break down everything. There's going to be some annoying stuff that I have to do, like take off this symbol and fill in a lot of stuff, a lot of holes with epoxy. So there's a lot of breaking down of this figure that we're going to have to do, and I'll come back to you when I have the entire figure completely broken down, including the symbol, because it is kind of a pain in the ass to do. So let me get back to you with that and we'll see how it looks. Here is the entire figure broken down. I went ahead, took the extra step and prepped the joints already. So now all we have to do is fill in this chest. That way everything looks all nice and natural, and then we can move on to priming. So what we're gonna be using to fill in the chest is 2-part epoxy. Now this stuff is great for when you have to use clay but don't want to put anything in the oven. Obviously this stuff will melt in the oven, so you want to use epoxy clay to fill in these holes. So if you haven't used epoxy before, all you have to do is take equal parts of part A and part B, mix them together, and then they start to harden. So you have a little bit of time to work with this stuff. It does tend to harden after, like, I would say 10-15 minutes, and then you can let things harden overnight. So let's go ahead and mix these together and start filling in this cavity here. All right, it's kind of like that, but I'm gonna redefine this stuff off of camera. That way I could get the details correct and I'm not boring you with all that boring, you know, shaping and scraping and all that stuff. So this is basically what I want to go for, is just filling in the chest cavities, the little holes from the cape and everything with epoxy. And once everything starts to harden, I can carve in the chest muscles and everything like that so it could look nice and uniform. All right, it's the next day and the epoxy is 100% hard. I went ahead and sanded it and everything like that, so now we can move on to painting. And while I had some epoxy, I went ahead and did this little circle for the symbol, so I could just, you know, put it on there nice and easy so it won't be no problems. And I could just paint the lines on there nice and easy. So now we can move on to primer. And what I'm going to be using for primer is this Krylon primer. It's white, it's easy to go on. Got it at Hobby Lobby for $6. It works on these things. Now for the diaper part, this part right here. Now I don't know if it's gonna stick to this, but I heard if you spray it with some matte sealer first, it should stick. So I don't know about that. I am gonna test it out today, see if it works, and I'll let you guys know how it works. Alrighty guys, here is everything with the primer on. Now, there is some joints that I didn't hit with primer. I'm just gonna go over it with white because I do have to go over every piece with white because he's a predominantly white suited character. So basically most of the painting is done. All I gotta do is just hit it with some white so it's all nice and uniformed. So the only other kind of painting that we have to do for this figure is the details on the suit. And that's going to be very easy. So I will come back once I hit everything with a nice uniformed white. I don't want to bore you with that because it's all just going to be just me painting this entire figure with white. And then I could come back and show you guys the details in the painting. Now that I hit everything with a coat of white, everything is good to go. Basically, that is the majority of the painting. I didn't want to bore you guys with that stuff because all it is just painting white over everything that's already white. So let's get into doing the details. Now, this color here that I made is a combination of a couple colors. So the colors I was using are these. It's a lighter blue, a lighter purple, and a lot of gray. That way it has this purpley bluish tint to it, but it's monotone with the gray. So that's what we're gonna go for. That's what it kind of looks like to me. I don't want to go too bright. I want to go kind of a little bit darker, but it is kind of like a weird purple grayish color. So I'm gonna go with this. So if I need to darken it or mess with it, I can always change it. So we'll start with this and see how it goes. All right, here is the body complete. I went ahead and put together the body off camera because I was, worried about things, rubbing and stuff like that. But it actually came out pretty good. The joints don't rub, everything's looking pretty good. And everything is looking ready for the next step. And that is to complete the head. So let's go ahead, complete the head, and we'll finish off this figure. Alrighty guys, here is our completed Conquest. I'm very happy about how this one came out. It looks super professional, and it took no time at all because I learned my lesson with the Omni-Man, and I, prepped the joints. I over-prepped the joints to just make sure that I didn't have any paint rub or anything like that. This one is in the books. It's complete and ready to go for this new season of Invincible. I'm waiting for him to show up in Invincible Season 2. I'm hoping he's going to show up towards the end because he's a major character that comes in and changes everything. So if you like anything you see here, guys, be sure to like and subscribe to From the Depths Collectables because we have a lot more custom corner ideas in the works. Conquest is just one of them. So if you want to see any of those things, be sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.